All right. I am to report, not the time, but let me go through my obligations here of documenting the date and the time. It is Wednesday, November 20th, 1:01 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, year 2024. Okay, we got this documented. Okay, so first of all, I couldn't say anything at the time. Exactly, they do it. They're not intelligent here. I can't say who, but we know who is keeping these domestic terrorists protected, living through it all, quote unquote, in terms of speech. It's astounding. Let me put this on so I don't lose my train of thought. Okay, so I couldn't say it at the time. It was 8:30 a.m. The BMW domestic terrorist, white supremacist, extremist, violent terrorist vacated and left the garage again, in and out, right? Like last night. And when they came right out and they took it. It seemed like I pictured it in my mind because it was so atrocious and so desperate, and they're so protected. And there's cannibals here. Might I remind the public? All right, so now that I've cleared the air on that with what kind of violent offenders I'm dealing with here. Perfecto. All right, now we comprehend this. Okay. So as soon as they went into that backyard, I pictured it in my mind because it was so loud and atrocious that they had a big stick and a big hollow tub, and they hit it 4 times, just hitting it like you're playing a drum set, like you're playing a drum. Bam, 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 bam. They hit it as hard as they could, okay? Consecutive strikes on something plastic, but a huge object. It was plastic or something like that, not metal, not glass. Okay, so I'm clear on that. And they must have had something really hard that they were hitting against it, okay? It couldn't have possibly been their own bare hands. So we have maniacs. I've known that. I'm saying when there's dead corpses, the stenches of a mass graveyard that billows out of the front door of this house into the oxygen, I mean what I say. There's freaking cannibals here. I said it over and over and over again, that it had progressed, the drug abuse, so on and so forth, and brought them, some of the individuals who are violent offenders here, domestic terrorists, it had brought them into cannibalism. However they met the person to introduce them into it, they were engaged in cannibalism. It's all over the internet. I documented every time I could when it was safe and I was able to put it on the internet. I will never forget one day of the cannibalism that has happened here, but for the recent cannibalisms that I have witnessed, I can't talk about it. It did happen after the last time I talked about it. You can see it within the last couple weeks on the YouTube documents, but I can't talk about it. It is a serious problem here. All right. The only one I can talk about is the one that's already on there. And after that, I'm silenced. I can't say anymore. I don't need to. I don't need to tell the good guys what they're doing here. Not any of it. Okay? This is a circus that nobody needs to investigate anymore. Very, very scary, violent, deranged, violent criminal offender circus. Okay, we're clear and comprehend the kind of individuals that are packed in here on S Street, that go in and out and walk these streets and drive around in their fucking BMWs. We're clear now? Okay, so they went out, bam, 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 hit something like total circus in their yard, and then within 10 seconds, like it was really fast. It was back to back. It was completely premeditated. It was totally planned. They hit the garage door and that started opening up. Okay, and then they got in the BMW and they drove away right down the street, and they usually go right past the White House. Okay, so within a minute, it wasn't as instant, because most of the time, 95% of the time, they do this every time when they come and go. I have just said this about 4 different testimonies just this week. So I think whoever's listening to this can recall that that is what they do in that backyard when they leave. They bring in these creeps to charge, is a term of speech, to charge into these carved out holes in the wall. And that's exactly what they did this morning. But this morning it was delayed. They weren't right there. And most of the time, 95% of the time, their thug creeps that are with them are like right there. And they start blasting my room with gas, and you can hear all this combat and warfare. But I'm not allowed to talk about it. I think the people, whoever's listening to this, can recall that I cannot talk about the combat in here. The fact that I can even talk about the fact that they're under the floors is combat, and is a big deal that I can even say that. But that's not just what is happening here. It's only one of the horrible things they're doing here. Okay, so within 60 seconds of this circus spectacle in the backyard, and off and away goes the white supremacist, violent offender, extremist terrorist. Once they leave and that garage door is closed, that's when they came in. And you could hear them all over under my floors. You could hear them, and yes, I got poisoned. Now, I can't say where they were. This could be either room, right? I can't say. But I can at least say they were totally down there again. I am at liberty to say they shoved what sounded to me like a big, hollow, metal tub filled with liquid right underneath my chair. And then they continued their circus under my floor. And then within 5 minutes or 10, I got poisoned. I expect it when the violent extremist white supremacists leave in their BMW. I expect it. And so today it happened again. Okay, so then this white supremacist extremist violent offender came back around noon. I couldn't say anything until 1:01 p.m. today about this. When that white supremacist violent offender returned, within 10 minutes, there was a raid. It's what I call it. It is basically sort of, I'm correct on that. But like I said, I don't know the procedures and the details. I don't know this. But the special ops came back, and they were raiding and hovering over these houses again. Now, I can't talk about anything else. Now, there's a lot going on outside, and there's a lot going on next door to 1509, both ends. And there's a lot going on inside of this house, but I can't talk about any of that. All I'm able to say is about that metal tub that was shoved under my chair, the poison, and there was stuff that happened last night, massive stuff. It went on, but I can't talk one word about it. It's not my job, These special ops need me not to talk about it. But I do want the public to know this goes 24 hours a day here. They literally run in shifts here. And I don't know how they think they're taking me to the fucking courthouse. Whose idea was that? Okay, so let's just stay to what we can discuss. Then the special ops, multiple helicopters came, and they raided for a good 20, 15 minutes. They kept coming back over the houses. Sometimes they'd stay, but I can't talk about what I mean by they stay. Like, how do they stay? Questions like this, I can't talk about them, dude. If I say I can't talk about the good military, I mean it. The fact I can even say they were here is a big deal. All right, so about an hour and a half before the BMW came back, I got brutally poisoned. I was sitting in my chair watching Christmas movies. This is the second poisoning I went through today. And it was like so serious. I had 30 seconds before all this liquid, pee poo, diarrhea is what it is. 30 seconds. Started gushing out. And I just went to the race to the toilet. And it just like poured out. Like, and then they hit me in my bathroom. They started emitting the gas or the bioweapon, whatever it is, into my bathroom. And so I, at that point, was getting a double dose of the poison. So you can imagine how long I was in there. You can figure with correct assumption what kind of sickness, what kind of pain I was experiencing. You can't get away from this poisonous gas. And they're just pumping it in your room. And your body, my body, I can speak for myself, just gushes it, every last bit of it out through my intestines. So I'm basically handicapped and paralyzed on the toilet until my body recovers. And then I can stand on both feet. And it's not fun because you want to just go lay down. But you have to wash up, you have to flush, it's horrible what they're doing to me in here. And then I just lay down. I'm so fucking sick hours later after being contaminated with it. It's the same chemical or biological agent that they used yesterday, because they did the same thing yesterday. I had seconds and there was all this just liquid coming out. And it comes very fast, the poison. You can feel it. I'm speaking for myself. I can feel it for about a good 30 seconds to 1 minute. And I have no choice. My body is now taking over. It is not up to me to wait anymore to see if I can resist this. My body is getting the poison out, and my brain has no control over that. It is so scary to have people poison you like this. I just want the world to know that. And they did it yesterday when they were crawling up on that ladder, which I'm forbidden from talking about yesterday. Yeah, the whole thing of yesterday, I can't talk about it today. And then they did it again today. I was just sitting in my room. I was feeling fine. I was. And then, like, that's what I mean by it. When they contaminate you and they hit you with it, 1 minute you're fine. You're watching Christmas movies. You don't really know what to do if you're me and you're in this situation, because there's all this stuff going on that I can't talk about. So my best conclusion is I watch holiday movies. I try to not get depressed because there's all this stuff going on that I can't talk about. And there's all these chemical and biological weapons they're using on me. I try not to get depressed because I see all these people baking cookies on the movies. Yeah, it gets me, yeah. I used to do that until Donald Trump came into office, and I went after that former administration. And then by the time Biden's administration came into power, I was already trapped in this terror cell, okay? And I can testify that administration has done nothing but protect this terror cell the entire time they were in office. So my testimony is good for a few things. And I can testify that the former and prior Trump administration protected this terror cell. But I moved in on their last 2 years in office, their last 2 years of term. I moved in here, so I don't know what the Donald Trump administration was doing in regards to 1509 S Street before that. My testimony is a very good one. I know that. My verbal and witness account testimony against these politicians in the capital, Washington, D.C. All right, so I'm forbidden from discussing any of these individuals. I cannot, it's forbidden. Okay, so then I stood up, I recovered from the poison. They weren't pumping it in the hallway, everywhere, right? No, I praised God for that. Ever since then, I've been sick. I don't feel good, okay? It's the truth. They are making me very sick in here. But I praise God. And this is my Christmas blessing. If this is where I have to be, if it is His will, I praise God for my life. Because I have a future. And I lived through these horrible poisons. Okay? That's my Christmas gift from God, if that's what he wills, that I'm still sitting in here being poisoned on Christmas. These people will not stop. Okay? Now, I want to say one last thing. I'm allowed to. Within about 5 minutes of being brutally poisoned and racing out there, the bathroom was gory. When they were pumping it in my room and pumping it in the bathroom, it was gory what it does to my body, how sick I got. Let me just, on a radius of a person, we got 1 through 5 threshold pain and really sick. I'm a 3 pushing 4. So this is really critical that's happening to anybody. And if it was any other scenario, you would want to take that loved one, that family member to the ER. You would definitely be doing that. But I know what they're doing, and I know that I recuperate, so I just go lay down, and that's what I am doing now. I'm just recuperating from this poison that happened about 2 hours ago. I'm still watching Christmas movies. I'm watching Nashville Christmas or something. It's really cute. It's a country, silly movie, but it is not racist. It's got a nice cast. It's just a country themed Christmas movie. I'm watching that. But let me stick to my point. I'm sorry for forgetting. Thank you for bearing with me. So within 5 minutes, there was all this stuff going on inside of this house and outside during that poison attack. But I can't mention it, no, because I have a lot of respect for these war heroes. They're the real deal. They're serious, serious soldiers. And no, I'm not going to talk about it, okay? I have a lot of respect for these guys and gals. Okay, so I can't say what I witnessed while that poison attack was happening, but it was gruesome and brutal what they did to me in my bedroom and my bathroom today. It was really unforgettable, and I'm fucking pissed. Okay, but within 5 minutes of that, once I got back in here and I just sat in my chair and I was just staring, I stunned and I'm in shock. And the Christmas movie is still playing. And I just ran out of the room, race. It's just that your body is reacting and you're scared and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to die. This poison is taking over your body. And I just ran. So I left the TV on. And so I came back and the Christmas movie was still playing and I sat completely stunned and shocked in my chair. And I heard all these special ops. So that's 2 times just today by 1:01 p.m. that they have coming over the houses and circling and hovering. They came and they were furious, dude. You could tell by the way they're flying. It's about this and here, yeah. But it's the sons of bitches that are using this stuff. They're not playing games with these guys. The way they flew in and kept circling, and you could hear the choppers. I'm so glad I can say this, but not a lot of detail about their what they were exactly doing. But I can say they were flying low, and you could hear the choppers, and they're ready to. I don't know what these helicopters can do, but they're ready to do it, and nobody in the right mind would question that. Okay? Not at all. Enough said about that. So, whoa is right. And I mean, but I was sick and I couldn't quite assess what was happening around me, except there was furious helicopters. You could tell the way they're flying all low and fast. And there was more than one. And they were zooming right in, but I can't say where they were exactly. They were over the compound is all I can say. It's no joke. It's no fucking joke here, man. Okay, I can't talk about the special ops. I have to stop as hard as it is for me. There'll be a time I can, okay? But so there's 2 different times by 1:01 p.m. that they have come here to this compound just today. I can say that. I praise God I can even say that. But I have to say now, and then I have to get off the internet. Look, I can't always do this in 14 minutes. I'm surprised I used to be able to do that. We're at 20 minutes, so I'll put it in the title, 20 minutes, so people are prepared if they want to check this out, that it is going to be about 20-minute viewing. And I'll just say chemical poison, special ops, brief testimony, something like that, so they have an idea of what is ahead on the video. Okay, so but that is what's happening besides a ton of other stuff that I just can't discuss on the internet on this terrorist compound, okay? And I'm okay, but they're definitely loading people up, whoever they can, with some serious fucking poisons. Okay, bye.